Welcome to the Too Posh Podcast.
I am Gabrielle. I am a former New York Mafia princess, originally from Austria. I am the mother of 3 and the owner of Too Posh Boutique. And here with my beautiful co-host, Marcella, my daughter.
Hello, I'm Marcella. I'm a dancer, choreographer, model, and designer for Too Posh. And I say whatever the I want.
Hi, my name is Cruz. I am a stylist. I also own the Society Salon in the Design District, and I am a short little Mexican with a big personality.
I am Polly. I am a certified sexual health consultant and educator, former professional dominatrix, currently working at the largest adult novelty store in the Texas Panhandle.
What will they say next? Welcome to the Too Posh Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to our show. And we have some exciting guests today, Jessi Couture and Jermey Elliott.
What up?
What's up, guys? You are in the DFW service industry, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys work?
I work at Truth and Alibi. It's a candy shop speakeasy in Deep Ellum, and I also work at Bitter End in Deep Ellum.
TNA, one of my favorite spots.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm over at a beautiful little cocktail bar in Oak Cliff called Tiny Victories. And I'm actually working on opening my own space with my partners in the Design District, a dope new concept called Double D's, actually.
I really love that name.
Nice. Me too. And I love that it's in the Design District. Welcome, neighbor. Yeah. Welcome to the hood.
I'm excited about being in the neighborhood. It's going to be dope.
So what's the new concept?
So the space is right off Riverfront. So if you're pretty familiar with the Design District, so right down the street from like the Charles and Town Hearth, the aesthetic of the space will be like 70s lounge.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like, and not like kitschy, like lots of like wood and neon and plants, like kind of sexy vibes, you know?
Love that.
The cocktail menu will be focused on like really, really well-built classics. I've been in the industry for a really long time and kind of worked in a lot of really dope spaces. I was formerly at Parliament for a long time.
Okay.
And I've worked all clubs and all kinds of bars and stuff like that. But the menu will be focused on really, really well-built classics. We're doing some draft cocktails, and we're doing a little bit of pizza and popcorn and dope DJs and good vibes. And I'm all about like love and you know.
Ooh,
I'm excited about
that.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Popcorn and pizza.
Yeah, keeping it simple.
That is so crazy that we've never met. I mean,
is crazy.
we know all the
know.
same people.
It's weird,
and
like
we've never met.
Social
right?
balls in the yarn are like
Wow.
connected, but you know,
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how the industry is. It's kind of incestuous in a good way. Like, especially-
Well, we'll talk about that.
So, Jessi, you are a real life Elaine
Benes.
Benes. I didn't even know how to
Yeah.
say it because I don't watch Seinfeld. So
Oh.
tell
Oh my
me
God.
why.
Crazy things tend to happen to me. I'm like a walking klutz joke. It's just like a constant reality TV show around me. I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
Tell us a little bit, like, what was the craziest
Yeah, give
thing
us some
that's happened?
examples.
Yeah, give us some.
I mean, where do I start?
Talk about your neighbor.
The craziest thing that probably ever happened to me, I one time worked for a diamond jeweler, and I worked for him for about 6 months. I met him through the industry, and turns out he was a huge con artist and stole over $5 million worth of diamonds from people. What he would do is target like widows, and he would become friends with them. And he would be like, hey, let me take your jewelry to clean it. Let me clean it up for you. And then he would return the jewelry, and it was fake stones.
Oh,
So,
my God.
If you steal that much money in America, the Secret Service gets involved. So I had my own Secret Service agent. I was walking down the street one day. I went to Starbucks, and I see this dude like chopping down the street behind me. I'm like, who is this man chasing me? Like 6'5", like handsome dude in a suit. And he comes up,
like,
he's like, I'm with the Secret Service. I'm like, okay, what the hell is happening? And I like blew him off. I was like, okay, this guy's crazy. And then come to find out, it was all true. He ended up stealing my mom's diamond also from her wedding ring, like a nice ass wedding ring. And I'm not necessarily, I don't believe in snitching. I'm not a rat, but if you come for my mother, I will fuck you up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got involved with the Dallas District Attorney and the
my
Secret
gosh.
Service, and I had my own Secret Service agent assigned to me. And I had to take them around town and show them, you know, all the places that he was going to do his business. I had to go testify in court. He ended up going to prison for like 4 years and got out. And now he's
Wow.
like out roaming the streets. I saw him
He's
at Bottle
out?
Blonde like 2 years ago.
That
Stop.
is crazy.
Can we say
Yeah.
names?
Oh, yeah. His name is Pete Manassian, that son of a bitch.
Oh,
Pete Manassian.
Pete Manassian.
Motherfucker.
How did he get caught?
He finally, so we traveled a lot. Like, I was a lot younger when I did, like, I'm 31 now. I was probably 22 at the time. So I was a
Okay.
lot more naive. But I mean, we traveled to Chicago. We traveled to Houston every week. Like, and for some reason, you know, me being so naive, when he's like, I can't fly, we have to drive there. And we would drive to Chicago. Little do I know, I'm smuggling stolen diamonds.
Oh, my
Millions of dollars
goodness.
worth of diamonds.
This is a crazy story.
I told
It's
you.
like the Tinder swindler, but
Oh,
with diamonds.
Wow.
Yeah. But he fucked with the wrong person finally in Houston. And I remember we went down. It was a very well-known dentist in Houston. And I went down there and met with him and his wife to do like a jewelry deal. And we walk in the room and we sit down. And the man gets up and he locks the door with us on the inside. And he's like, let me tell you something. I know what the fuck you're doing. And he looked at me. He's like, ma'am, if you don't get away from this dude, he's going to have you killed. You need to get away from this dude. But yeah, he turned him over to the feds and it just snowballed
That
from
is
there.
Nuts.
Wow.
Like, no one would believe these things. They're so crazy.
Wow, that is really
a
wild.
crazy story.
I was not expecting you to tell that. Like, I would have never guessed.
And you know what's
That's
crazy? My Secret Service agent that was assigned to me was Mitt Romney's Secret Service agent, his like
What?
number one Secret Service agent. And after he found out that, you know, I had turned on him and was ratting on him, I would be driving down the road and I'd see his car whip out from behind me and he would like follow me and chase me. And like, that's why I had to have
scary.
my own Secret Service agent assigned to me because he was, you know, threatening
Jeez.
me. And
But
all
are
that
you
shit.
scared now?
So
Still?
he,
Fuck no.
Uh-huh.
He should be scared.
so he stole over $5 million, and then he got
Yeah.
out of jail 4 years. That's it.
Yeah, he
And
got off
Crazy.
4.5 years.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he's
And
out-
the fact that you've seen him at Bottle
Yeah, he's at
Blonde.
Bottle
Oh
Blonde,
yeah.
just chilling.
I
you
mean,
know?
I had him
Wow.
thrown out, obviously, but yeah.
No big deal.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Jess off the jump with the.
Yeah.
Something crazy about this as well.
yeah.
That's like some movie stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
I know.
God.
Interesting life. So
I'll
I have to say something real quick. Jess is also she comes to the salon and she's also a guest of Cindy.
Mhm.
And we
Shout
all,
out.
Yes,
Yes,
shout out Cindy
Cindy.
Bowie. She was supposed to be here, but she couldn't make it.
She needs to come on the
I
show.
I know.
I tried to get her here.
But this is another one that we also love to talk a lot of shit. So that's why I was like, you need to come on here.
Yeah.
People love it.
That's how this
They
came
do,
about. He
yeah.
heard us gossiping in the salon. He's like, you know what?
Save it for the podcast.
yeah.
Yes.
I will say people love it. I went to someone's birthday on Sunday at Bistro and they were like, oh my gosh, you had Liv and Danielle. And I go, yeah, I
Mhm.
do. I go, Cruz and my mom love that gossip. I get so nervous. And they were like, no, you got to have it. We love it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they have good gossip.
Yeah. I mean, they never say names, but
I'm
Yeah.
sure you do. So tell
Yeah.
us something. What was the last gossip you told in the studio
or the salon.
in the salon? I mean,
Oh, God.
Fresh stuff.
yeah.
Fresh.
What's
I don't know
the
if I could say-
latest? You could say it. They don't know.
Was it about me?
No. Jerm's a nice guy.
Oh.
I don't gossip about Jerm.
Oh,
he's,
love
he's
this.
a
Aw.
nice human. I don't know. You tell me. What's
Well-
the last gossip in
well,
the
let's
salon?
let's talk about dating in the industry, right? Let's
So are
talk
you
about that
dating?
for a little bit.
Is that what you mean? Like
We're
her
dating like how difficult it is
That's
hard
an
to- it's hard as shit.
understatement.
in the
It's super hard.
industry
Yeah.
is what,
Oh
because
yeah.
it's true, I mean, I feel that I'm in the service industry, but it's a different type of service that I'm in. So,
Mhm.
I don't have these late hours. a lot of alcohol and and a mixture of
Drugs.
male and female and stuff like that. And then that mixed with if you try to date someone with a 9 to 5, I can see that being very difficult.
Never works.
I can see that
never.
being very difficult,
Yeah.
And then if you date in the industry, I mean, there's a bunch of craziness.
Mhm.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
So I'll share a story.
Yes.
I'm not really currently dating, but the last person that I did date, probably 3 or 4 months ago, we had been dating for a few weeks, like getting to know each other. After I really started to like the guy, like started to have feelings for him, I met up with one of my best girlfriends in the whole world, and I hadn't seen her in a few weeks, and I was like, oh my God, like I met this really great guy. I really like him. He's this, he's that. We've been doing this. And I said his name, and she goes, wait, my name? And I was like, hold up. And I pulled up his Instagram, and she was like, bitch, I dated him for a year, and like we've been hooking up and shit. So he knew that her and I were best friends, and withheld this information from me. So it was totally embarrassing that that I was blindsided by that. But come to find out, he had been fucking her and dating me and didn't disclose that information to me.
No comms.
Oh.
No
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah, like one of my best friends.
That's nuts.
The best. So you didn't know this?
No,
She never told you?
no.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
it had been like a year since they dated, but they like kind
They
of grew
still
up
hooked
together,
up.
so
They
they
were-
had
they were
hooked
still
up
seeing
on
each
and
other
off
and
for
stuff.
years,
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he totally knew we were best friends, but he did not disclose that information to me. And like, I'm not a stupid girl, like, but he's not in the industry, which is why he got away with it. He's a
Oh.
baseball coach. He's a high school baseball coach, so he's not in the industry. A lot of people in the industry don't really know him, so that's how he got away with it. But that shit ended real quick.
I was gonna say, what did you say to him?
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, do I have stupid written on my forehead? Like, I don't like to put myself in situations that are sticky like that. Like, I'm always like, I will always have my girl's back over any dude, like chicks before dicks, always.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how he got away with it.
And how long are you from Dallas? Did you
Yeah.
grow up here and then you got into the industry, or what?
hmm
Where did you work first?
I actually, so you're
How
legally.
long ago was this?
How long ago was this?
Yeah, when you first started working.
Oh, when I first started
in
working in the industry?
Yeah.
So I'm 31 now. I was 17.
Wow.
Legally, you're supposed to be 18,
Yeah.
but shit happens.
Yeah, and I was 21 when I got my first industry
Yeah.
job. So
Are
I'm
you
30.
from
I'm
Dallas?
35. Yeah, I'm from.
Yeah.
Born in Parkland. So yeah,
Ah,
I'm not
there you
bad.
go.
Yeah, in the city. Yeah. So been a minute. It doesn't really feel like that long, but
No,
yeah.
it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What place? What was your first?
My-
Where were your
Give
Give
first
us your
one?
whole. Give us
Yeah,
your
I
whole
wanna
timeline.
know.
Oh,
whole
God.
tenure
it's-
of everything.
Yeah, I wanna
You
know.
want to go me first?
Yeah, you go first.
So my first, funny story. I was in college, and my first industry job, so I was like waiting tables, was at Cheddar's. If you've ever been to Cheddar's,
Yeah.
before.
man.
Shout out.
And it's shout out Cheddar's, yeah. And I was in college with a homie, and I actually got fired from my job for just being a dumb kid, like
Yeah.
being trifling and late to work, stuff like that. And my homie Carlos, shout out to Carlos, he's in Vegas, and I love him so much. And he was like, dude, you should like work at a restaurant. He's like, you're a really nice guy, and people like you. And I was like, I don't know anything about, He's like, well, you get paid every night. And I was
Yeah.
like, that sounds pretty dope. So that was like my very first industry job. And then my first bartending job was in college. I bullshitted and said I knew how to bartend, and I didn't. And I worked at this country club. I was like 22 years
Make it
old.
till you
I
make
did.
it.
Yeah,
That
this
is-
country club.
That
which
is something hard to fake.
Yeah, it was a very interesting
Just
experience.
ask
yeah.
everyone around you questions.
Yeah. Well, I had a homie that bartended, and I was like, he was like, yeah, you should apply to this job. And I was like, but dude, I've never bartended before, And he was like, gave me a list of like 5 drinks, like a Cosmo, a margarita, a chocolate martini at the time.
And at a country club.
And it was a country club, and
because
I got the job.
Yeah,
So and
good for you.
it was
What's in a vodka water?
yeah, real life. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, it's 1-in-1s, And it's kind of crazy because at the time, and I feel like a lot of people in the industry, you fall into it when you're younger because of like money and that's a
Fast
goodness.
money.
Yeah. And but then I actually like really, really fell in love with the industry. And I was about to go to grad school, and then I was kind of like this epiphany, kind of come to Jesus moment, like, Jerm, what do you really want to do? And I was like, I think I want to be involved in like bar stuff for the rest of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you love it that much.
I'm about it. I love people, and I love spaces and the industries. We talk about all the the messy stuff. There is messy stuff in the industry and stuff like that, but there's a lot of beautiful stuff too.
What's the messy stuff?
Ooh, the messy stuff. Yeah.
Well, give us a timeline on
Yeah,
your,
I still
on the
wanna know where you
places.
were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So worked there. Then I moved back to Dallas. I was 23 when I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, and like kind of had like a I'm always like long term, like thinking like out. And I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings for some
Shout
years
out.
or whatever. And then my first like kind of cooler industry, I worked at I opened Citizen. I don't know if you've ever been to Citizen, the club Citizen.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Austin and Rom and all the homies and stuff at Milkshake, and they're great.
Megaphone.
Yeah, they're so wonderful and stuff. And then I worked at Parliament for 4 years, and Parliament's like probably one of the best like cocktail bars like in the city.
Amazing.
And dope, wonderful time there. And I actually moved out to Arizona for a year. I worked at a really dope cocktail bar called Bitter and Twisted. They won a ton of Spirit Awards and big
Wow.
awards that are big in our industry that no one else
course.
cares about, but it's a big deal in their industry. And then I moved back a year and a half ago. With my partners came to me about this project and stuff, and coming back to the city. And so my tenure is very short, but it's long. But I didn't really do a lot of hopping and stuff like
But that's very
That's
cool.
good,
Now you're
though.
gonna have your own.
that. My own space, yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
kid,
exciting.
21, 22-year-old Jerm would be excited for me right now. So.
Is there a grand
awesome.
opening?
Soon we're looking at because we're about 100 days out, so we're looking at first week of August.
Wow.
So yeah, we're doing like friends and family and grand opens for that. So I'll be sure to make sure
yes,
that the homies.
we're coming to Double
Yes,
D's.
hell yeah,
Absolutely.
bring it.
I'm excited.
I love. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
super excited
please.
about
Yeah.
it. So, yeah.
And then what's your journey? Where'd you go?
I started cocktailing, doing bottle service when I was 17 at Thrive Nightclub, which is inside the Crown
my
Plaza
gosh.
downtown. Shit show.
I feel like I've been there.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure.
I'm
I don't
sure.
know.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
I worked there for a couple years. I've worked at so many bars and clubs I couldn't even name them all. But I stayed there for a couple years. I did a big run so the place that I work now, Truth and Alibi, it's been open for 7 years. So I moved on to there, worked there for a few years. Then I went to Punk Society in Deep Ellum also. So I work for SBBC Concepts. It's like one of the most amazing bar and club
hospitality groups
that I've ever worked for in my life. Mark and Chris Bearden, shout out. They're my bosses.
the homies
They
are great.
are
Good
the
people.
Yeah, really, really good
best
people.
Very
bar
good
and
people.
club owners that I've ever worked for. They're like great people.
That's the homies. They're great.
Wow.
But yeah, I've just hopped around bartending, cocktailing, going back and forth over the years. So I'm
Always within their group.
mostly. Yeah. And I also worked at Theory for a while. I worked at Playground. I worked at Cutie Pies, which is One Entertainment. Great group. Stephen Buckner, shout out.
Yes.
He's the motherfucking guy.
Sam Samini, my
Yeah,
boy.
Sam Samini,
Yeah, Sam.
Alon. Yeah. I've been blessed to work for a lot of great people in this industry.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You guys seem to really like it's a tight group, so that's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, that's one, especially going to other markets and stuff like that. Because I've gotten the opportunity to travel and stuff
Mhm.
too. And seeing other markets or having homies in other markets, not even just in the US, but internationally. The one beautiful thing about the Dallas hospitality industry, everyone's pretty tight, regardless of whatever kind of space you work in. So, like,
Mhm.
you know, if you work at a club or even like my strip club homies, like we all know each other and
Yeah.
kind of, you know, converse and see each other
Your
and help each
strip
other
club
out.
homies?
I have strip club homies and stuff like that. We're all doing the same stuff. You know, I always
You
kind
mean
of,
the bartenders in the strip
and
club.
then some dancers too. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, all the homies,
I'm
yeah.
just trying to understand that.
Yeah.
The
So,
homies.
yeah, the homies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, because I wonder, because we had a lingerie store in a strip club at Silver City,
oh,
right
so-
here.
so-
And so we knew a lot of those people. I was a go-go dancer for a long time ago.
yeah.
Some like at Kinky, like that.
Oh my God, I worked there.
Like a long time ago, so I like to know. But I was like, that was very long ago. I feel like so it's just very interesting to hear about it. And then when Liv and Danielle are on, I like hearing all that stuff. So it's everyone I feel like knows each other.
I worked with Danielle for many years.
Okay.
Yeah. She's the homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's
love that.
it's really, really crazy because everyone is like adjacent to each other. Like even if you didn't work with someone,
Yeah.
you know someone that did,
No.
like very intimately, you know. So everyone, it's pretty tight. So
That's amazing.
it's just really
though.
cool. It's
yeah,
really,
that
it's
is
really cool.
good.
feeling. I know a lot of other industries can't say that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
if you need to call somebody or see somebody, you just hit them up and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like
not
Jessica did today,
normal.
you know what I mean? So
That's
But
not
that's
normal in any other industry, really.
Yeah.
Actually, at all.
So let's.
Oh, she
I
wants
guess
the
let's
messy
start. No,
stuff.
let's start with the beautiful stuff.
Yeah. I know that's what she really wants.
yeah.
the
But let's
messy.
get the beautiful stuff in the industry. Like, is that it? Like the tight community?
Yeah,
Is that what
I-
what you meant?
I think that like because regardless of how spaces are styled or what you're doing in the space, we're all kind of really doing the same stuff. So there's like a really big sense of camaraderie. Like Jess can call me about some stuff that happened at her space.
I always do.
She can call me or text me or something like that, and like we all have an understanding and stuff about the things we kind of go through as far as like good stuff and also really bad stuff, like dealing with guests or just wild kind of stuff that
Yeah.
happens during a shift that you're like, I don't even understand what's going, So it's that. It's like a sense of camaraderie almost. You know?
Lots of 4 a.m. after shift phone calls. Like, oh my God, I need to talk to someone that understands this. Holy shit.
Or you'll see a post and you're like, dude, are you okay? Like, you have a bad shift? And it's
Yeah.
Saturday. It's like Saturday going into Sunday.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I'm going to text the homie and make sure they're okay.
Aw,
So like
that's nice, though.
Yeah, lots of love. Lots of love.
But I feel too also like, where you're at, Tiny Victories is more of a chill
Yeah, I mean,
spot, and then TNA is like crazy.
yeah. Like Tiny is. If you haven't been to Tiny, y'all need to come by.
I've never been there.
Yeah, we've been there for almost 5 years. And my partners are also partners with Ryan Payne, who's absolutely wonderful, runs the space. But the space is small, tiny, hence
Yeah.
Tiny Victories. But it's a dope neighborhood space, very casual. But everyone that works there is very, very well versed in cocktails and people use the term mixologist, but we bartend,
Yeah.
tending bar. So it's very like unpretentious, very like easygoing. A lot of industry homies that work in the Bishop Arts District and stuff like that's kind of their bar too, like the industry bar.
Okay.
And a lot of people in the neighborhood in Oak Cliff like really love and support Tiny, and like when I moved back from Arizona and I was only going to be at Tiny temporarily until my space opened. That setbacks and stuff because that always happens. And I always say that like I fit in like a little Lego piece at Tiny. Like the homies are so great, and everybody, Sam and Ryan and Paul, all the guys and girls and stuff there, and it's a really cool space. So yeah, come by Tiny.
I would love that. And
Yeah, whatever.
do you like the club or do you like that better?
I like all of it.
You like all of it.
Because I've had the opportunity to work in like sports bars and clubs and really, really high end cocktail bars, and like I love people in spaces, and I love them
Wouldn't
for what they
matter.
are. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you like all of it too?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like a rush when I'm very blessed, like I said, at Truth and Alibi, that they trust that we know what we're doing. So I run with me, and I'm the cocktail waitress manager there. So I run with myself and one other girl every night, and we sell out almost every night. And there's nothing like a rush at 1 a.m. when like, this table needs this table needs this table's spending $5-10 grand, like getting your shit out, getting it together, providing a great experience for the customers, and at the end of the night, it always pays off.
Yeah. That's awesome though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
that's the
beautiful
good
stuff.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
now let's get to the messy stuff.
You had mentioned like talking about dating in the industry, and it's hard. It's like hard as shit. Actually,
Toxic.
yeah.
It's like a cesspool
Yeah.
in Dallas,
Yeah, it's-
literally.
and-
Like my story earlier, it's a cesspool.
Yeah, it's just I think that for one, I always say civilians. These are people that don't work in the industry. I call them civilians. It's not like it's not a derogatory term. It's just like
Yeah,
that's why I
that's
like
hilarious.
my industry homies and civilians.
Yeah.
I've always thought I don't know if you've run into this too, like dating with people that aren't in the industry. They're so they're so like we work in sexy spaces, right? So they see us differently than you actually are. Not saying that we're being phony but it's just like you walk into a space and it's dark and like music and cocktails
I
and,
get it.
and we look cool and
Mhm.
Jess is looking great and stuff like that. And then once you get out of that environment and they realize you're like a normal person and you actually have like things to deal with and your hours are off and stuff like that.
Yeah, the hours is a huge
yeah.
part of it. If you're
can
dating
imagine.
someone not in the industry and you're coming home at 4 or 5 a.m., they're like, oh, what the fuck are you out there doing? I'm literally just trying to close down the bar and put out fires all fucking night, dealing with the POS system, like all that kind of shit.
Much shit that
they're like, you're full of shit. Like the bar closed at 2. No. It's the most stressful part is from 2 to doing all the money and the payouts
paperwork
and all that
cleaning
shit.
Clean up. The cleaning, I remember that too.
And it's hard to, get off work at 4 or 5 a.m. and get up super fucking early when they're going to their 9 to 5. They don't understand that, and
like it's hard.
Yeah,
because I always say
really
like
hard.
if you have a 9 to 5, you do have that decompression time. Whether it's your commute or you're going to dinner or whatever. When you get off work, so you're like, oh, I'm going home. I'm gonna go change. I'm gonna meet up with the homies. We're doing happy hour. We're gonna go to dinner. And then for us, when we get off work, it's like 4 a.m.
Like,
yeah, you just want to like, so we don't ever really get that decompression time too, to like kind of slow your brain down. You know what I mean? So it's just the hours are off.
Well,
Yeah.
So it makes it hard.
people are jealous too. I mean,
It's pretty cool.
no, I mean if you're dating, like the other person will be.
Oh, do you run
The
into like
jealousy,
jealousy
yeah.
issues? Yeah, I would say, I can't speak for Jess, but like,
She's nodding her head, yes.
I always, you have to be like kind of particular about the people you date because that's an issue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never doing anything like when I'm at work, I'm at work. You know what I mean? Like, it's my profession. It's what I do. And I'm very serious about it. And so I try to stay out of the messiness and stuff too. But it does get hard when you're like, there's like beautiful people around, and I get hit on like every night, like
And there's alcohol.
But you
involved,
also
too.
have to kind of flirt in a. I mean,
it's part of the
to
job.
make
A little
your
bit,
money.
yeah.
I mean, you're not
Yeah.
going to be rude just because
No.
you have a girlfriend. Like, I
Right.
can't really smile at you or talk to you because
Yeah,
you're
I'm not
trying to
gonna be
make
a
your
jerk.
money.
Yeah.
So I feel like people will be jealous even of that. Like, why are you
Yeah.
talking to him like that or her like
Yeah,
that?
and I used to run into a problem too because I'm generally a really warm
Mhm.
person. Like I hug, and Jess knows, and the homies know, and stuff like that. And so it's just funny when you start dating someone, and they like the jealousy thing is a very, very serious thing. And usually, I mean, I'm a person, I don't really put up with a lot of bullshit, so I'm just like, hey, babe, this isn't working out. You're a great person, but gotta keep it moving.
Yeah.
Stuff to do.
Gotta
so.
keep it.
Are both of you
Yeah.
single?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
very.
But then, so then you don't like to date. So the hard part is then dating in the industry comes with its other, what issues? Just everyone knows each other?
Yeah, everyone's dated everyone. Everyone's
Alrighty.
fucked everyone. Yeah, it's the jealousy is a huge part of it too.
Yeah.
I obviously work with a lot of cocktail waitresses that are beautiful. Texas has the most beautiful women.
Yes,
Yes.
Dallas
Yes, for
especially.
sure.
The cocktails in Dallas are the most beautiful women I've probably ever seen in my life. And their boyfriends get very jealous, and they'll come into the bar while you're working and like be watching what you're doing. I'm like, I do not have time for that. I'm here to make money. Like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah. That makes
And
sense.
like I said, it gets hard too because, generally when you're dating, you're kind of you're dating kind of in your social groups, and our social groups are like people you work with, and
course.
that's homies in the industry. So, and it makes it easier, I would say, with the hours thing.
Yeah.
Like you're on the same schedule, you kind of have an understanding of each other.
You
know,
just
like
get each other.
yeah,
Like,
you
Yeah.
got your ass kicked, like you're tired, you want to go to bed.
yeah.
Right.
Or like I know you got a shift, I'll bring you some food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you guys work during the week and weekend?
Yeah, I work.
Mhm.
Yeah, I work up all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, especially with the new space opening. I'm busy with like all the non-sexy stuff, like meetings and
Yeah.
Excel sheets and calls and phone calls and stuff like that. But I'm at Tiny. I'm there 5 days a week. So I'm there all the time.
Yeah. So you need someone who can understand the schedule.
Absolutely, it's super
Yeah.
important. It's super important.
Yeah, it really doesn't work if they're not in the industry, kind of, because they just don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to in August date a guy that has 2 kids and works a 9 to 5, and it lasted like
30 minutes.
2 weeks.
I can't imagine.
Like literally, it was. He asked me to be his girlfriend. Shit moved very quickly.
Yeah.
It was like, I love you, that type of
Oh,
intensity.
shit.
And then 2 weeks later, it was like, this ain't gonna work. Sorry,
Yeah. That makes sense.
because they just don't understand.
Right.
I saw that you said how to get to guys to ignore them.
Is that how you get to
you've
do it?
been watching my
Is that
shit.
how
You've
you get
been
to
looking
do
at my Twitter. I have. That is literally. If you like a guy and you want him to like you back, all you do is literally ignore him, pretend he does not exist, and he will come. The men will come.
Be
every
mean to
they
him.
want what they
without
can't
a
have.
Be
doubt.
mean to him.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
true. It's stupid, but
So I noticed that because sometimes it's not on purpose, and I'm like, I'm working. My work hours are not that, but they're a little bit different. But I'm always like, I'm really working. And they just keep. I'm like, I'm not ignoring you, but I
Yeah.
guess you like that I don't talk to you ever.
It's the
interesting.
challenge.
The challenge.
Yeah.
It's the
Mhm.
challenge.
The
It's not
chase part.
the-
It's the ego.
The men are hunters.
The ego's like,
Yeah.
That's what it comes
Men
down
are
to. The men
hunters.
want to hunt, so you
Hunt.
have to let them hunt.
That's what my mom's taught me my whole life.
So
Uh,
stupid.
And that's the thing, though.
Jermey is a
okay, I'm
rare.
gonna say,
they
okay.
get their
like
prey
I'm like a weird
onto the
anomaly.
He's
next.
a rare breed.
Because I'm like a
he's
weird anomaly because I
man.
don't I don't know. The older I get, I'm kind of feeling like I'm kind of weird or whatever. I told you about like bullshit. Stuff.
Different.
I don't have time for dumb kind of. I'm very like
You don't
upfront
want the
and very forward.
game.
Yeah, I don't got time for that. You got stuff to do. I got stuff to
He's a
do.
rare breed.
Let's
I
do
think
it. You know what I
I
mean?
think it works. That works when you can have an adult communication, but a
Mhm.
lot of men are not good at adult communication.
True. I would
A
definitely have to say that.
1,000%.
It's not-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not every guy. I think some
No,
some men you
every
can
guy.
Yeah.
To extent, guys are literally worse at communication. We're so bad at communication.
I mean, I know
Mhm.
some guys that like can't talk to other guys. Like I can't even imagine them trying to like
yeah.
speak to a woman about like
talk about emotions,
Yeah, or
and
just-
feelings, and
yeah,
shit.
like you can barely
know?
speak to me, dude. You know, like so.
It's like, no, I'm
Makes
too
sense.
tough for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
I'm
all-
like, no, man, just call her. Just call her.
They
And just see what
all
you do.
have a sensitivity chip missing.
I think it's ego. It's definitely
I
ego.
don't think they all.
Male ego.
Well, it's also, society expects certain macho behavior out of men, so they feel like they have to live up to that, which is stupid. It's 2022. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, you only know what you've been taught, and
Right.
as this society, as not men, but I guess boys, when you're
Mhm.
growing up,
Mhm.
don't cry, only girls cry, and shit
Yeah.
like that, So when you grow up, that's kind of how
Mhm.
you are.
Yeah, that is true.
It's society.
And I've noticed too, just in dating in Dallas too, I kind of enjoy it. Maybe some other people. It makes it makes women more forward. Like I feel like in the city of Dallas, like if a woman is like, I want to spend time with you, they're like, yo, like you're cool, let's do some stuff.
I feel like
You know what I
I'm
mean?
very forward now.
You're very forward, yeah. You're very forward in that aspect. Yeah, but yeah, and it's some guys get kind of turned off. You're talking about like the machismo, kind of like him, like she's not asking me, like I'm like, no, dude, she wants to hang out with you, and she's hot, and like you get along, like hang out with her. You know what I mean? I don't understand what the issue is. So sometimes, and like I said, ego gets in the way of that, and some people just can't do that.
Yep.
It's kind of funny.
I still think that if a girl is so heavily after a guy, the guy is not going to be quite as interested.
Nope.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say that right now, but I don't believe you.
They want what you can't
Because it
have.
sounds really good. But
Mhm. You
in
think I'm
general-
not being truthful when I say?
no, I think you guys want to say that, but in reality, it is like,
Over time.
I think when women, and it's not even a game, it's just how the world turns. Like it's just women and men are different,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and men, what they can have so easily, are not that interested in it.
Right.
Usually, I'm not saying always,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time.
Heard.
Yeah, because I've heard people say like I went after him and they end up getting married,
Right.
and
Mhm.
like,
No, I've
you
heard
hear
that
that
too.
too. But
Mhm.
I don't always think it has to be such a big game. Like you're
Yeah.
making it happen. Like you're
Yeah.
ignoring on
Mhm.
purpose. Like I don't like that either.
hate
No,
that.
I
Mhm.
think it's more as a woman.
Yeah.
There are certain things that you have to like. They should be done by a man. That's just how it is because
Courtship.
courtship.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna call you first. You call me. And
Well, I always
you,
call.
Oh,
like
see
phone
that
calls.
that
That's
doesn't
what I'm
exist
talking
much either
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't.
does.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you wait
I'm-
2 days? Do you
No,
wait the 2
no,
days?
just no. Like, okay, this is my like. I think part of it too, because I'm like kind of a clumsy texter. You know what I mean? So like, I'd rather
call.
convey my thoughts
I
and
like
call
that.
you.
You're
yeah.
a good
What?
speaker though.
That's
Like
Oh,
you're
thanks,
very
yeah. Bar
But-
is a good practice. You have to talk to
That's
people all the
true.
time, so
That's
it
true.
kind of helps out.
No, but
But-
that, for instance, is exactly what I'm talking about. Like the guy should be calling, not the
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
The girl, like,
I'm like you. I have the same kind of old school romance values
Mm.
like that.
yes, and I think it shows respect when a man
Yeah. Mhm.
Calls.
does that to get it to a girl. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just how it is, and it's going away, and I don't like it at all.
I agree.
So I'm like, I text, I'm like,
Mm.
is it cool to call you or can you call me when you get a chance? Because I feel nowadays, like, if you just call me, like, is someone calling me? Like, something must be wrong, you know? Like,
My
why are they
anxiety
calling
goes,
me?
Oh my God, why
Yeah.
are you calling
Like,
me?
oh my God, should I answer it?
Yeah.
Should I answer it?
What? They're actually calling me without asking me first. Like, something must be wrong. Like,
You like immediately pick up the phone. Are you okay?
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that nowadays. Like, I'm like asking permission. Hey, can I call you, or can you call me when you get a chance? You know,
Mm.
I feel that's kind of like the new norm.
Yeah.
It's okay though. I mean, I don't mind you saying like, "Can I call you?" I'd be like, "Sure, you can call me."
But what if someone just calls you,
That's cool.
like just random?
Oh, if you
fine.
FaceTime me, you better
Oh
ask.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
FaceTime's
That
a
is
whole nother
And then
story.
there's
no
that.
FaceTime.
I will not answer your
I'll
FaceTime.
never answer
Yeah.
FaceTime.
I don't even send them.
See,
I only FaceTime my
No.
sister.
And like I would
Yeah.
FaceTime
Never-
all the time, but since I have an Android and nobody
Oh,
else
you
does,
both are Android motherfuckers.
I'll add you on Duo, dude. Yeah.
all right.
What's your green bubble?
I don't like FaceTime. I'm not a
Mm.
FaceTime fan.
No.
I got shit to do. I cannot just be like,
I hate it in public, like when people are like FaceTime. I'm like, dude, just call that person or whatever.
this
I'm
is
like,
weird.
this is weird.
I
Yeah.
love. I wish that more people had an Android.
you like the FaceTime.
got you.
I
We'll-
like the FaceTime.
We'll exchange
yeah.
information, dude. If you ever need to,
Yeah, you guys
to do
do
a
FaceTime.
FaceTime someone, you can hit me up, dude.